I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. This is gonna be one of those tough videos. Probably one of the toughest videos I've ever had to make in a long time, right? Because we gotta shine some light on some shit that I truly didn't want to have to do. But I feel like if I don't do it, then I'm not gonna be able to live with myself, right? Now, this video may rub some people the wrong way. It ain't a trigger warning, but it's just a real warning that this may not be the thought process of a lot of guys. Some may say, Doc, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You turn your back on the community type shit. But if you hear what I say, I feel like once we get through it, you'll be able to at least pick up what the good doc is putting down. And it's not something that has not been told to you before. So the reason I'm doing this video is because I started to receive a lot of information at one time that was pretty much circling the drain around the exact same thing. So I hope my boy Oscar doesn't mind me sharing some details about an email that he sent me, wherein he was talking about, in general, just talking in passing, like he's like, man, he said these women go over to, these, he said he called them fat grandmothers, go over to places like Zambia and they get their backs blown out, but yet and still brothers get hate whenever they go overseas, and the whole situation that is already made front page news, for lack of a better term. Then the other day I saw on a community post by my boy Jay Black American Expat, shout out to the homie. He was basically saying the exact same thing, wherein he was like, man, these women, they go overseas, they find ways to really make bank, like they kind of make a living out of doing whatever it is that they're doing in these foreign countries, as well as dealing with, and I'm paraphrasing, I might not have gotten it correct all the way through, but I'm paraphrasing. But he was like, yeah, they out there making moves, and us as men, we're like fucking happy with donations and super chats and shit to basically try to make our move overseas and live off of. That's pretty much all we got in reference to what the young ladies have when they go overseas. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all. I fucks with the people who fucks with me, right? And don't ever think that anybody who puts a couple dollars on the Good Docs books, that shit goes overlooked, right? Anybody who puts a couple of dollars on the Good Docs books, that does not go overlooked. But in reality, I know for a fact that that wouldn't be something that I'd be able to live off of and make a name off of, right? Because how long do you think that's going to last? It's only going to last as long as these people got bread to be able to get to you, right? If that's the case. So you got to find a way to do these things on your own. And after hearing that conversation and then, talking to my boy in the email, I came to the conclusion that in general, because it seems that black men seem to be the target of attacks of a lot of shit, I just come to the conclusion that we are just too fucking loud, right? And I'm not talking about loud like, some ratchet, ghetto type, loud type shit. I'm just saying we have to be seen. Like, it's unfortunate. It's like when we're doing things or we're going places, whatever it is, even if we're faking it until we make it, we have to be seen. Oh, you got to see me doing good. You have to see me doing good. And I have to tell you that I'm doing good. You have to see me and I have to tell you that I'm doing good and I'm doing everything that I need to do and you're not doing shit. You have to do that. And for the life of me, when I say move in silence, I mean it. I do. Because I know what comes with people who are fucking loud, who draw that type of attention to themselves. I've seen it happen. Prior to the situation that just passed, I've seen it happen time and time again, right? When people are too loud and we're talking too much and shit backfires or things happen where you have to make a move or you have to alter whatever it is that you're doing, it's all pretty much because you had to tell everybody what the fuck you was doing. Even if starting from the base level of you living back in the United States, let's say you want to start a business or you want to start doing something or creating art or whatever the fuck, and you start telling people that you're trying to do this before you do it. And people are like, man, what the fuck you think you're doing, bro? Come on now. You really think you gonna make some money off of that shit? Come on, bro. Now you funny. Chill. Man, sit your ass down. Go do something else, right? Y'all know that. People are going to come at you sideways. People are going to have these naysayer comments to say about you to keep you exactly where you are. Let's say that you make it out of your circumstances. Shout out to all my brethren who have. Now you overseas, you living your best life. Now you feel like you have to throw it back in people's faces. When I say you got to be loud, you got to scream to the top of your damn lungs. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. But why? Why? Why does the opinions of others really matter? When I say lead with receipts, put your videos out, but don't sit there and say and point the finger at people saying, y'all didn't fuck with me, y'all didn't do this for me, y'all didn't do that for me, so fuck y'all. Because now you still, even if you winning, you seem like you bitter about something. Like you just bitter. And sometimes, with all due respect, and I say this from the bottom of my testicles when I say this, I mean this with all due respect, but that emotional shit is really female-like, right? That loud, I have to be seen, look at me type shit, that's some female type shit. With all due respect, it's coming off and it's giving me quote unquote feminine vibes, man. The emotional aspect of it, the need to respond to everybody who has something to say about you. Let them say it. You just keep winning. And then you wonder why these young ladies can go overseas and do whatever they're doing overseas, get their backs blown the fuck out by Mandingo, whoever the fuck he is, or whatever country they at, come back glowing and shit or whatever the fuck, living their best life. Nobody know nothing. Why? Because they're not posting their exploits on social media. They're not posting their exploits on YouTube. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. They just going over there. They are having what, girls trips or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and they keep it pushing. But nah, man, when fellas do a fellas trip or whatever the fuck, I don't know if that's a real thing, but when you and your boys get together, you and the gang get together, you got to show everybody what you and the gang is doing, right? The most I've ever seen on a ladies trip, with all due respect, like when it comes down to like posting on social media, you see them doing their little TikTok dances. It'd be like 100 of them, and they just having fun and all of this shit. Hey, look at us, we on the beach, we doing this, we doing that. That's basically all you see. Basically, the content that when you see it, you overlook it, right? They're not posting themselves walking next to some dude that they just met. They're not posting themselves getting their backs blown out. Again, that's not necessarily something that is becoming of a female, becoming of a young lady. But in reality, you don't really see that happening. If it does, it's few and far between, right? You gotta go on to OnlyFans to see some shit like that. But guys, shit, man. You guys just have to be seen with the baddest girls. And I get it, it's like your bragging points, and I'm not against it, but for some reason, or there becomes a point wherein you're showing receipts starts to become just, I need to elevate my voice so everybody hears me what I'm saying. Y'all can't just show it. You gotta say it, and you gotta say fuck everybody, and you say all this shit about all the women who didn't fuck with you, and now it's starting to come all bitter and emotional. And that's the shit I don't like, right? And that's why when I say, man, black men, we got to stop being so goddamn loud, that's what I say. That's what I mean. That's what I feel. Because in my heart of hearts, I'm like, yo, why are we still feeling the need to have to tell everybody what we're doing? Show everybody what we doing. Yo, man, I'm over here in this country. Y'all wish y'all could be here type shit. I'm over here fucking this badass bitch, man. You can't get a woman like this in the United States type shit. And it starts to become a repetitive cycle. Because not only do you show the receipts without having to say a word, you got to speak, you got to talk, and you got to talk down. And that shit just don't vibe. And then you wonder why you're public enemy fucking number one all the time. And you wonder why, whenever the white guys post the exact same things that your ass is posted, nobody says anything to them. You want to know why? There's a multitude of different reasons. But for the most part, I'm not hearing the white guys downing white women dealing with. Now, they may say shit like, yo, look at this foreign wife that I got. But that's pretty much it. This foreign wife that I got. They're not over here saying, I got this foreign wife and white women ain't shit and women in the West. They might say something to that effect, really bland and standard. But very rarely do you hear that if they are making videos like that, right? And when they do, a lot of people just, it doesn't really faze them as much, right? And I'm sorry, it doesn't really have a larger effect on them than it would have on somebody like us. And yeah, you can sit there and be mad about the fact that you could say black men get more hate when they put out videos and shit like that or content like that. But you do realize that a lot of the times we kind of draw that attention onto ourselves, and I think that it's unnecessary. And if you know for a fact that they're going to get on your ass about it, then why post it? Oh, because you want to be seen. right? You have to be loud. You want everybody to see you. Even when you know the potential, and I don't want to say ramifications, but when you know what could potentially happen, the backlash or the naysayer comments and all the stuff that come with it, you do it anyways, right? Because now you're just egging it, right? You're just egging it on. And if you feel that's the way you want to move, I can't tell you how to move, but I'm just saying, in general, I do believe that us as black men need to stop being so goddamn loud. We do. Because for me, all I know is this. I don't have to speak on what I do. I don't have to tell anybody what I do. It doesn't have to be something that you broadcast for the world to see. There's a lot of things that you can keep for you, and you ain't got to worry about it, right? There's a lot of things that you can do for you, for your peace of mind, and for your sanctity that you don't have to share with other people. You can share it with your closest homeboys and shit. Yo, look at this badass girl I had last night type shit. But now you want to make it a whole social media presence. Like, look at me, man. I'm casting over here in the Philippines or wherever the fuck you at, and you bagging them all and you just doing that. That gives them the motivation to continue to talk about black men going overseas for sex tourism. You know, this guy is always putting different videos of women out, or he's always putting himself out there with different women. So basically, now you're giving them the narrative for them to say shit like, oh, they're there for their sex past, they're there for sex tourism. None of these guys are serious with these women, blah, blah, blah. You know, you give them the ammunition they need. And then when it comes out and you start to see a lot of pressure coming your way, now all of a sudden, nah, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. It ain't like that. But because you were loud about it and because you were showing it, how can you prove to others that that's not what it was really about, right? That's number one. If you care to prove it, how do you prove that that's not, that ain't what I meant, that ain't what was going on? See, now you find yourself backtracking. And at the end of the day, when you start backtracking, that shit ain't, now that right there is an even worse look. If you got to backtrack the shit that you said or backtrack the things that you do, the videos you put out, shit like that. And again, this ain't, don't get it twisted. This is not particularly aimed towards any particular individual. I'm just saying in general, if you got to put out videos and you put the videos out, then when people question you about the videos, you're like, oh, well, that's not what I meant, or that's not what I said, or that's not what was, how it was supposed to be portrayed. But the need to backtrack puts you in a position to where you shouldn't have said something in the fucking first place. Again, why y'all so fucking loud? Why y'all so loud? Right? I love my guys, right? I want all of us to succeed. I want all of us to live a prosperous life abroad. You just don't have to do that in front of the camera. Now, again, a lot of people do it because, like I said, this is their bread and butter. The social media life and all of that stuff is where, like, maybe the bulk of their income or finances comes from, whatever you want to call it. So they feel the need to go above and beyond. I ask you one more time. Is the content you put out worth losing all of your socials for? Because I'm telling you, people are getting canceled very easy now, right? It's very easy to get canceled if y'all haven't noticed that. All it takes is for a group of like 5 people not to like what you said, and your shit could be complicated. I put it to you like this. I'll tell you the truth. It is very, you know how easy it is to get canceled? Let me tell you something. Because I've seen it happen to one person. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Guy put out a video on YouTube. 3 people. That's all it took. 3 people complained about that video, or they reported it. 3 people reported the video. Upon the report, YouTube sends you an email talking about your video has been reported, and during the reporting period, I think they take the video down until they review it or investigate it. So now, not only are you losing time, effort, and energy and all the stuff that you put into the video or whatever, you're losing all of this shit, all because somebody didn't like something you said in a video? 3 people is all it took to get this man looked at, right? 3 people. 3 people. And all it takes is 3 little friends that say, yo, let's all report this video. Let's all say that it's promoting sexual harassment or hate speech or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And that starts the conversation and it starts the complication. That simple. That's just for YouTube. I mean, I'm not sure what it's like on other platforms if they're trying to get you canceled and shit. But all because you had to be loud. All because you had to be seen. I don't know what it is about look at me, look at me, look at what I'm doing, look at me. I don't know what it is about that lifestyle. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I see no benefit in it. With all due respect. If you gonna be seen doing you, having fun. You don't have to draw anybody's attention to you. Just do you. Don't say no names. Don't talk about a particular type of woman. Just do it. Just put the video out. Show people having fun. Yo, I'm here in this beautiful island, beautiful young lady. You know, we having a good time, eating, drinking, enjoying life, whatever. We at this party, having a good time, enjoying life, whatever. What can people say about that? Now, if you start posting 3, 4 different girls and videos at a time, again, you already know where the energy is gonna go, right? Oh, it ain't like that, man. She's just my friend. We just cool. That's all it is. Blah, blah, blah. Whoop-de-doo. Now you have to defend yourself and explain yourself, right? You see, although you feel like you don't have to do it, you do realize that when you put that shit out there like that, it's all it is about perception. You're fucked on perception. Now, do I feel like black content creators got to work a little bit harder than the other ones? Absolutely. Do I feel like, I won't say they got to tread lightly because that's not the best word to use, but do I feel like you may be judged harsher for your content than somebody else does? Yes. Comes with the territory, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not act like we're fucking stupid. Let's not act like we're in elementary school. It's real. But you do you. And all I can say is, please don't say that I did not warn you, right? Because again, if you're cool being loud and you're cool being canceled, cool, right? Again, I understand standing your ground. Don't ever get it twisted. I don't believe in bitching out. I understand standing your ground. But are you willing to risk it all, right? If you got a lot of things going on offline and you cool with just losing your shit, hey, speak your mind, do what the fuck you want to do. Be as reckless as you want to do, right? It's up to you. But if you feel like you got a stake in something and what you're doing, and you're trying to make something happen for it, I feel like you just have to be able to get your message across. But you might have to find a new avenue, a new venture, a new way of getting it out, right? Or a new way of saying it, all right? Because you know the trigger words, bro, and then they hear them, whoo, they coming for that ass, right? In general, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, y'all gotta stop being so loud. People don't need to know what you're doing. Like, for real. They don't need to know. And I'm praying that you hear me when I say this. I'm not saying stop posting content or whatever. Of course not, because I would never stop. All right? But I would definitely be mindful of the content that I do post, making sure it gets my point across, throwing in some innuendos. You can even throw in them short jabs and shit. Come on, man. You just got to be a little bit creative, man. Don't be so goddamn blunt and blatant sometimes, because the bluntness, although it sounds good in nature, that pretty much that's kind of what puts you on people's radar for no reason at all. That's my time, effort, and energy, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a good time, man. Y'all know what time it is. Time for the good out to go and get to getting. Y'all take care, man. Y'all stay blessed. Docs out.